Ayo, 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 ayo.
BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So welcome everyone to 50 Minutes of Experience, and today I'm with Lukman Fahry from Indonesia, but he look like Japanese. So welcome, Lukman.
Hello guys. Thanks for the Berlin Export for inviting me. Well,
It's a real
I
pleasure.
yep. I
So,
am I'm from Indonesia, like he said, but slightly about Japanese things. I don't know.
he was explaining to me about him origin, and that's we was having fun on that things. But let's start in that way. Tell us a bit about you, who you are, how old are you, blah blah blah, and then we go on a bit more deeper, and you tell me more about your position in photography and what is your experience. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. I am 26 years old. Basically, I'm not passionate in art, but I am passionate in mining industry. But photography for me is a hobby, a side hobby to release my stress. So everyone got their own way to overcome their own stress, right? Well, in this moment, I would like to tell you about my photography journal. I am an analog photography from Indonesia. Basically, was grown up for my analog photography in Yogyakarta, joined in analog Diningrat by the end of 2018. The end of 2018, probably in December. Well, I just found my passionate in photography when I was found that a camera that a legacy to me. It's not a good camera, but it's kind of useful. So I tried for the analog camera, and then until now I often use the analog camera more than digital. For I don't have any of the digital camera, but I will buy, of course, on experimental. And then my history, my journal began on the street photography. Like I love to take a picture about point of view about people having their own activity, like human interest. For once I got to Yogyakarta, there are some projects that I've been made in 2018, but was published in 2021, I guess, last month. And until now, I still produce it. It's a magazine about appam. Appam is more like let's say a pancake, but it's an Indonesian style pancake. So I always go to the market, like in Taman Sari, Yogyakarta, near the water castle. If you ever go to there, and then I try to communicate. I try to buy the appam and then just having some fun with the sellers. So I try to propose what my photo on proposing to create a zine or a book. And when I was got there, I buy it for about 3 laughs at 9 a.m. And I with my friends, two of my friends is a curator and an experimental photographer, and one of them is my friend in Anak Diningrat. So I try in this Appam project, I try to tell the story of the Appam seller, which is Appam Beras Buwanti. Is a traditional Appam which they have ordered by all of the people that go around in Yogyakarta, especially in Kraton. In Kraton, mostly they buy the appam in order to fulfill the tradition called gerbek syawalan. So gerbek syawalan is kind of a pyramidal tumpeng. It's called in Indonesia. It's kind of tumpeng like it's pyramid like that put very carefully of its element, which there are money, banana, and let's say snacks, traditional snacks and street food is combined all of there. So I communicate with the sellers. They said, he said, the appam that he sell to the abdi to the kraton or the guard, it's called abdi dalam. It's tasteless, but it's tasteless and it's better that the sellers made. So he just let it go for it's for the traditional spiritual purpose. So the project is tells about the photo series about Appam and then the seller's story itself, and then after the story of the sellers, we've got so many things to believe that street food are overcome with the modern food. Like in Indonesia, we should call it for an example, there is a fruit cake or a chiffon cake. It's like overcome the street food itself. So in the street food, we are common to see about an a fried egg, and then appam itself, or some kind like what do you call it? In Indonesia, we call it kue cubit. It's more like a stuffed half cake. It's hard to explain. For I can show you the picture, but it's hard to explain. It's a half like a half moon of a pancake, a half a pancake filled with chocolate and sometimes with pandan leaves or with a cheese and cook half boiled cook. Yeah, street food often overcome with the modern one. So I try to uh, convince and try to inform that the appam or the street food, the traditional food that is a legacy from the uh, ancestor to us, it's still worth to try and still worth to achieve as it tastes for its taste and for its culture historical things. And for the style of the photography itself, I love to bring all of the people in black and white. For black and white, it's not only tell color. I mean, like not only show the color of itself. Like if I use a color, then it will show the color by the picture, not focus on the story and then the emotion. But black and white is different for me, although the different in this black and white, it can tell you the emotion and the characteristic, the details, and even they someone said that black and white photos never fail. Even you thought just grab your camera and then oh that seems interesting. That click the photos and then voila, you got the good photos.
That's interesting what you say, and complicated to understand in some ways. But I think I will go to listen again the podcast to follow better the explanation of the cake. And listen, I have watched a bit your picture, and there are really different point of view, different experiment. And through your Instagram page, I've seen you're part of three other account, and I wanted to ask you: is just account? Do you use it by yourself, or they are collective, and if they are collective, tell us more about.
Okay. Thank you very much. My Instagram page is only for my personal and show my portfolio. But once there is an experimental photo contest, which probably kind of collective, is a Instagram contest actually. For in Indonesia, I like of experimenting photos in analog photography, of course, such as red scale or making a blue scale, cyanotype, and some several things. So in order to make this experimental people go level up, I try to make this experimental contest for about a month, and then for I have make a tutorial about pre-exposed film, which the reason that I created pre-exposed, I look for the Revlog is kind of expensive though. Revlog, all of this is out of budget. Then I created by myself using product vision. I guess it's an expired one. I don't know because the canister didn't show it all, the expiry date. Then I try to recreate. If you ever heard Revlog Volvox, yep, I created one of the experimental Revlog Volvox, and then there's no satisfied in creating one of the pre-exposed film, so I created more, but it's still developing. It's not yet ready to use. Yeah, the pre-exposed film, it's purposed to downloading some of the wallpapers that you like, some aesthetic, some artistic wallpapers that you like, free of course, not the license or copyright wallpaper. So and then I put on the wallpaper on my TV, projected it, and then I took the photo with some kind of shutter speed, lock my shutter speed at 60, and then I use my diaphragma for pardon me, 4.0, and then the next shot, the real one in the field, we make it the diaphragma for 5.6.
So it's a really long process in a way in particular. And
Yep.
To go a bit more in your pictures as you as a photographer, I would love to know how you have a shoot in Indonesia, no? And I wanted to ask if you shoot at also in some other place, and if yes, then which is this difference in experience between to be in Indonesia and other places?
Okay. Probably in Indonesia is one of tropical countries, so the sun is kind of shine bright. It needs reduction on the set of your camera. So probably if I to be asked shot somewhere else, probably Europe or Australia is the best one for its sun. It's not sun sun brightly. Probably in only summer, I guess, because I never go there. Just only look for my friends going there. And same as Australia, so in the city, it got a lot of vibes that you can take, you can transform into your creation. Like some of the Europe, it has pastel color, so it would probably good enough when the sun give a slightly light to the objects. It would enhance the object itself. I mean, in Indonesia, in order to create that, I suggest we use a filter that turn the object into more pastel in color, more cream in color. So I ever use it in my city. It is different, half black promise. So it takes more settings, lower down by half, and then I I have my good on photo, I guess, yeah, for a good pastel. But uh, besides in Europe, I would prefer go to the Japan for all of the city vibes would like whitish, will look like white, and then at the night there are some of the lights that you could capture. Probably it would fit with scene still or Kodak Vision, but I would like to prefer scene still for it's perfect to take all of the moments in Japan, the Shinkansen in night or Tokyo in night. It would be perfect.
Yeah. I think also in my cases, I would love to enjoy the places you said in this list. And just the last question before to hand this podcast. I wanted to know a bit of you as person. What touch you usually in the world? What what are the emotion you feel during this way to be in a way a photographer, but not only a photographer, but as a creator, and as we see on your profile, really someone like to experiment. Tell me a bit about your feeling, your inner feeling.
Okay. Some people have their own anxiety that turns out into a feeling in order to represent every emotion of the object. But for me, my feeling is, as a photographer, I would like to capture uh, an anxiety of all of the objects, especially in portrait, in conceptual portrait, to represent that who they really are. But for me myself, photographer is to represent my photography style in different point of view. But well, some of the photographer in here in Indonesia are not as appreciated well, even though for the amateur or the professional itself, for it's not art friendly, I guess, in here. So um, for me, photographer, it could be as a side job for everyone, but if you insist to make this into a professional one, you should be all out of your power itself. And the feeling that I felt, it should kind of moody, right? Even though you want to take a picture or take an object, you should be happy, I guess. In if you are want to take something bright, something creative, something good, you should be happy. And although if you are sad, you will take something badly not as expected as you expect. Well, for me, there's a kind of feeling that I feel when I took the shot, when I prepare the concept, when I choose the location. For me, it's look like that.
Yeah, I see. So thank you for your short but interesting talk about your experience, and every description, every link is in description of Lukman Fahry, and yeah, I will suggest to see him work, but especially what he show in the pictures, because it's I think something relating to Europe country and American countries, totally different from us, and has a lot of content with value to discover, I think, and stories that probably we have to talk about in the future. And thank you a lot.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Learn more about our project at allmylinks.com/BerlinExplorer or visit our Instagram and follow Berlin Explorer Project.